Greetings, Broadway babies!
Hey,
I'm Emily.
I'm Jeff.
Welcome to Stealing Focus, and this is the second installment of our Schmigadoon analysis. Our Schmiganalysis, if you will. So we already did a video for episodes 1 and 2, so check that out wherever I link it. We're going to be talking about episode 3 today. Cross that bridge. Mm-hmm. And the way we've been going about talking about Schmigadoon is kind of pointing out the references and Easter eggs to Golden Age musicals first, and then kind of going through the stuff that we just generally liked and thought was fun.
Yeah, there are some undeniable homages going on.
We like to do musical theater history a lot on this channel, so we like to attack things with a musical theater Broadway history bent, so that's what we're doing with these Schmigadoon reviews. So make sure you like the video and make sure you are subscribed to our channel Stealing Focus so that you can catch up on all of our Schmigadoon reviews and Schmiganalyses.
And you'll be schmiga happy about it.
And you'll be, yeah, exactly. You'll be doing bell kicks in the air.
Here come the groom, here come the bride. Let's all meet him on the other side. Here come the groom, here come the bride. Let's all meet him on the other side.
So the first thing that was really prevalent was Cecily Strong waking up in Danny Bailey's room, aka Aaron Tveit.
Aaron Tveit, what up, dude?
Looking fantastic,
Yeah,
making a fantastic breakfast. He does a little reprise of the song You Can't Tame Me. And a lot of this song is very much soliloquy from Carousel. There was a lot of soliloquy and If I Loved You mashed up together in the first version of You Can't Tame Me in episode 2 or 1 or something like that. Way all that time ago. But in this one, we kind of get like the second part of soliloquy. The part where my boy Bill, I will see that he's named after me, but they get to the part where he's like, ooh, what if it's a girl? That would make everything different. And a lot of it is just direct. Have you ever heard soliloquy?
Oh, yeah,
from
of
Carousel?
course. I know it mostly from Sinatra's version, but I know, obviously, it's in Carousel. I don't know that show very well, but I know. That's the one that I do know.
It's another kind of milestone Rodgers and Hammerstein musical. In fact, I would say most of their references in this episode were taken from Carousel. There's a lot of musical inspiration from Carousel. Before kind of the golden age of musicals, when you heard of a soliloquy, you would think of a long speech, right? You know, like Hamlet's soliloquy. It's basically like an 8-minute Act 1 finale sung by one guy, kind of going through the process of realizing that his wife is pregnant, then getting excited about having a child, and then for some reason, he has the line, you can have fun with a son, but you gotta be a father to a girl. Yeah. And as soon as he realizes it could be a girl, he's like, oh my god, I gotta do something with my life. And then he has the famous line where he ends the song with, I'll go out and make it, or steal it, or take it, or die, talking about money. And so that's very much what Aaron Tveit is doing, and what they're parodying at the end here. A lot of it, he's like, I'll make it and take it, and then Cecily Strong's like, it's the same thing, or steal it or take it.
I gotta get some money, and there's no way to make it.
Forget it.
So I'm gonna have to steal it, or even take it.
Those are the same thing.
Or filch it, or pilfer it, or rob it, or swipe it.
I'll go out and make it, or steal it, or take it, or die.
It's so clever how they did that because she turns him down, basically. She shoots him down. She's like, look, this was fun, but I'm out of here. And he's like, at first he looks like he's going to get angry.
He does a whole shift.
I thought he was going to get really angry because his face got really kind of demonic almost. And then he was like...
No, his face dropped.
He was
like this, and then he just...
It could have gone to a place, but then he was like, okay, resetting. Oh, I'll figure out a way to make this work.
Well, it's like he misinterpreted the whole thing. Like, he was like, oh, well, she's going to be my bride.
He didn't get it at all.
And she's pregnant, and she's saying, I have an IUD. Definitely check out the parallels between that and soliloquy from Carousel because they are the same thing. And the other funny thing is that he doesn't resolve it. He keeps singing.
She just walks out.
Yeah, and he just kind of keeps singing.
I love that.
It's really good.
There's this weird... That made me think of Westworld and, like, you know, the parallel of Westworld and where maybe what if these were like androids who are in musical theater world and they don't really listen to what you're saying. They just hear things and in their version they move on.
They interpret
and she's like,
the way they do.
Okay, I'm leaving. And he's singing as she closes the door. I loved that.
It's
I thought
really
that was
good,
awesome.
really funny, and a good kind of bookend to his "You Can't Tame Me" first song. It was just,
and he's still going.
And it's a great kind of representation of the arc of like the bad boy character in a golden age musical who kind of gets tamed, which happens a lot. Your Sky Master sins, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Cecily Strong goes seeking out Keegan-Michael Key in the town, and then we get a few really good little references. So Dove Cameron is engaged to him now because the father put a shotgun in his face, and he's like, what was I gonna do? There's a shotgun in my face. And so she's just like kind of showing her ring to everyone, and all the girls are just going crazy.
And the best line,
which is a very frequent scene in
and
these
the ladies
kinds of
are
musicals.
so horribly underwritten in these old musicals. What a great line that was.
Well, yeah, so she has a line where she says, women were so underwritten in these early musicals. I would kind of beg to differ to a certain extent because I don't think characters like Marion the Librarian is underwritten, but
Right.
But I'll give it to like kind of these supporting characters, yeah, for sure.
Well,
and a lot of them do just want to get married. That is very, very real. That is a very real thing in Golden Age musicals. Yeah. There's a point where Cecily Strong says Liesl was 16 going on 29.
I love that line too.
And that's
you are 16 going on 17.
That's how it goes.
I'm way too old to sing that song now, for sure.
Yeah. But then my favorite, I had to pause and rewind Easter egg, is there's like a storefront sign that says Hammerstein and Sons.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And I got really excited because also Sondheim is definitely an honorary Hammerstein son, so it just kind of made me think about all of them.
Yeah.
That was a good one. That was a good one, Cinco Paul. I like that one.
Oh, I'm sure there will be more.
Okay, then my favorite, which actually they played in the trailer, which was another moment where I was like, these people, I think, really know what they're doing, is Cecily Strong has this moment where she says, nobody gets killed in a musical. And then she lists off 3 Rodgers and Hammerstein musicals.
Yeah.
In chronological order.
We're in a musical, okay? Nobody gets killed in a musical, except Oklahoma, and Carousel, and South Pacific. Oh, hello, West Side Story.
That's all the musicals.
Because the thing is, she goes, Oklahoma, or Carousel, or South Pacific. And, like, the thing is...
West Side Story.
West
That's
Side
all
Story.
the musicals.
West Side Story is not Rodgers and Hammerstein,
Right,
but that
right,
was the whole thing, is that she listed these 3 in order, and that's how I always list off the big Rodgers and Hammerstein 5 in my head. I always go Oklahoma, Carousel, South Pacific, King and I, Sound of Music. You know, that's how...
And Fantasia, Pinocchio. Oh, sorry.
And that's, so I thought that was a really good little reference. It's that idea that even with Golden Age musicals, there's always some dark stuff in them, especially in Rodgers and Hammerstein ones.
Like we said in the last episode.
Sound of Music had Nazis!
And Rodgers and Hammerstein started this stuff, like telling serious stories with music, and of course people are going to die. You can't have people not die if these are, dramatic works.
Yeah.
Come on, that's an elemental part of this. So anyway, yeah, it's a funny thing that, people, normies think, oh, nobody dies in musicals, they're always happy. No, there's lots of dark musicals.
Even in the Golden Age.
Yeah.
So then Keegan-Michael Key figures out that maybe he has to just like take any gal from Schmigadoon over the bridge and that will get him out.
Yep.
So he takes Dove Cameron. She mentions the footbridge, which again, this is a Music Man reference. A whole bunch of scenes take place at the footbridge. That's the place where like the kids make out. It's like Makeout Hill is the footbridge. He crosses the bridge with her and he's still stuck. But he mentions this thing where he's like, oh, it's this thing called the Skinner feeling. It's like in my family. And if you don't get the feeling, it's not true love. And I was waiting for a song called The Skinner Feeling, but I bet there's going to be one later, because the thing is that idea of like, I can't marry you because there's this thing in my family.
I
and
wish
it's
I
a
could.
long,
Yeah, I
long
wish I
tradition.
could, but I
that's
can't.
the kind of nonsense you'd see pulled.
But
the shenanigans you'd see in a Golden Age musical.
I like the Keegan-Michael Key character sort of cluing into how he has to deal with these people. Like he's realizing now that he can't treat them like normal people. He has to kind of manipulate them a little bit.
Yeah, he has to treat it like he's in a musical, and he doesn't really know anything about musicals.
Because
he's the one who doesn't know about them.
But he does know that in a musical, love is a magical thing that happens without characters really knowing each other. So that makes it sense that he just takes every girl over the bridge to see if it works.
Yeah, in some musicals it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we get the scene with Cecily Strong and Broadway legend Anne Harada playing the mayor's wife. And I didn't realize until this episode that the mayor's name is Mayor Menlove. Menlove.
I didn't know that either. Wow.
So she sings this song, which is so funny. It's so good. It's called He's a Queer One, That Man O' Mine.
Oh my.
Oh, apostrophe mine.
That's classic.
And it's very much like kind of almost a blending of 2 songs from Carousel, kind of like how Aaron Tveit's song was. So it's a mix of these 2 songs, What's the Use of Wonderin' and You're a Queer One, Julie Jordan. And that's really early in the show, and it's Carrie and Julie, and she's singing, "You're a queer one, Julie Jordan," and as in, like, you're weird, you're odd, but in this, that he's a queer one, that man, oh mine, it's pretty clear what the implications are.
He's a queer one, that man, oh mine.
You're a queer one, Julie Jordan. You are quieter and deeper than a well.
And then she's singing about how, like, he gives her a lot of space, and, like, they're not around each other very much.
He takes long walks.
He goes on long walks.
He loves his walks.
Yeah, he loves
and then
his walks.
his painting is Blue Boy.
Oh, his painting is Blue Boy.
That's pretty
with
incredible.
his head on
it's
it.
Literally
which
Blue
is pretty
Boy.
funny.
Here in Pasadena, we've seen it a couple times recently.
It's in a museum in Pasadena. Blue Boy is in a museum in Pasadena. But it's really cute because Cecily Strong is watching her sing this and going, this was literally me in high school. She's just completely going over her head that her husband is gay. Queer one, that man, oh mine. It almost reminds me of Can't Help Lovin' Dat Man of Mine, which is from Showboat, which is Oscar Hammerstein as well. So he loved those little apostrophe, like, things. Oh, and I also wanted to mention, Ann Harada says different in the song. And I've been hearing that in a lot of the songs, which is just so golden age kind of stretching out of words and syllables. I remember in Lover Spat, the woman sings, "Every steak has got some fat." So she's saying different. So these are just some nice little touches that make it seem really golden age. Okay, so then the last song is the title song of the episode.
Crossing the bridge.
Called Cross That Bridge.
Bridge.
And this is with Keegan-Michael Key basically taking all
a
all
song
the
is
girls.
starting? Okay, let's do it. Let's get a song starting. Good, he's getting into this thing,
He's taking the girls in the ensemble across the bridge. And of course they're all just, those ensemble girls who need their moment for their little solo,
There's always like
you
three
gotta
girls
make
to
the
start
most
song.
of your moment. And it's so funny because this ensemble of Schmigadoon is so amazing.
Really
they
good.
are so good. They know exactly what they're doing. They're leaning into it without being like obnoxious or abrasive. They're just in a musical.
And you can see it with Tveit, especially. You can clearly see the beats. These broad strokes scenes or broad strokes emotions that a character is going through. It's not as nuanced as normal contemporary television acting is, and it's cool to see it in close-up done well.
So in Cross That Bridge, the gals are all singing about how they want to get married to Keegan-Michael Key for some reason.
For some reason.
And it becomes kind of a gospel number.
Yeah.
And there's two big songs that it reminds me of. The first would be Sit Down, You're Rockin' the Boat from Guys and Dolls, which is from 1950. And that, it had a lot of that, see you on the other side and the like, get up and, clapping kind of vibe. But then also there's a middle section, which is very much that noble feeling from Brotherhood of Man, from How to Succeed in Business Without
really
Really
got
Trying.
Brotherhood of Man vibes, yeah.
Which is not a golden
age,
musical.
but it's close.
It's close. It was 1962. But that is another, kind of one of the other like kind of big faux gospel songs in a golden age-ish musical. But if you line them up side by side, it really sounds like a mashup of both of those songs.
It's not a metaphor, oh no, it's something more. It's a little bridge, sister. Get that mister, go get him. Oh, that noble beat feels like bells are pealing down with double D. Oh, brother, you got me, I got you.
And it's so great. They're all doing like the big claps and just, oh my God,
cross
just
that bridge.
every gal who goes across the bridge
cross
gets
that
their moment to be like, like
Yeah.
it's really funny.
And good for them for like, I love the way they wrote it. They really got use out of that set, man.
Oh, it's so good.
That set, they're getting their money's worth out of that thing.
And then at the end, Cecily Strong comes out. She's the last one, and she realizes what he's been doing, and she's pissed.
Yeah, because she had scorned her lover and said, I want to be with this guy.
She was
and
like,
then-
yeah.
So you knew the plot would thicken.
So Keegan-Michael Key goes to the church to talk to the reverend. He talks to Fred Armisen, and then he realizes there's one woman in the town he hasn't talked to yet. That girl who's not like other girls, the Marian librarian
Cinderella
archetype.
kid, Cinderella story.
Yes, Ariana DeBose's character. And then Cecily Strong gets an opportunity to be a nurse, I think. And she's like, well, I might as well do it because what else am I going to do? And she goes to the doctors, and it turns out it's Dr. Lopez, and
Really
he is
smoking.
the dreamiest guy in town. And she ends it with a yee hunk, and then that's it.
There's nothing better than Cecily Strong's reaction shots.
Yee hunk.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she's really running through the dreamboats in this show.
Every time the plot gets a little thicker, it gets a little thicker, and I'm really curious to see what happens. You know?
I like, so at the beginning there was a flashback at the top of the episode where they were at a wedding and Cecily Strong is a bridesmaid.
Oh, right.
And they start playing a song, and then and she's like, I wasn't ready, no one gave me
Don't worry,
choreography.
the lyrics will tell you what to do.
They're like, the lyrics will tell you what to do.
Right.
And the song is like, to the right, to the right, to the right, to the left.
And step back.
And step back. And
So
it's really
dumb.
funny, and it's
So
listed
dumb.
on Spotify as Cinco Paul. So Cinco, if that's you, that's really, really funny.
Right on. Well, he commits the cardinal sin, which is he does not go up to save her, or at least to
You mean
share the
Keegan-Michael
misery.
Key doesn't.
Yeah, because it's like, hey, significant others, go up and join. And he's like, nah.
Yeah,
and that's
he
the
just
one
sits
thing
there.
you can't do. Even if you don't stay up for very long, you have to. That's part of the contract. You have to go up and dance and be goofy, and then you can get off there. So we didn't talk about Fred Armisen. We finally got a scene with him, and that was fun.
He gave me like Arvide Abernathy vibes from Guys and Dolls. So another kind of Guys and Dolls inkling. I don't know. I think we might get some Guys and Dolls in here.
And it's
which would be
another
great.
moment. It's another moment where you can see the difference, where he's clearly directed to act as if he's in a musical on stage, where Keegan-Michael Key is not. You can see subtle differences in the way that he's acting, the way that he would normally. He's acting differently, which is pretty interesting. And it's subtle because they're not beating you over the head with it, but it's there.
Oh, I really liked it. How when Cecily Strong and Keegan are having the fight on the bridge after the big Cross That Bridge number, the ensemble just kind of wanders off. Like they
Yeah.
all just wander off in the
Yeah.
background, which is great because that's
Yeah. It's like Westworld.
that's
They're like,
what
oh,
happens though. They
I'm
all
not
just
involved
wander
anymore.
off behind a rock and then they're just gone.
They have
It's
their own
so
little
funny.
stories, you
They're
know?
going off backstage, to get their costume changed.
They're going to milk that
for the
cow.
barn dance, or for more corn pudding.
Yeah.
The dance reprise. So that's everything we caught in episode 3 of Schmigadoon. Did you see something that we missed? Please let us know in the comments. If you like what we're doing, I hope you've subscribed. And hey, we also have a Patreon, so if you want to become a patron of Stealing Focus, check that out because we have some really good deep dive musical theater history essays in the works, video essays, so that would be really fun.
Lots of good ones on there. Lots of information.
And you always want to check out my little puppet pal, Gerald, who we do a lot of reviews with. So, yeah. Okay, so we hope you enjoyed our Schmiganalysis for episode 3. And I'm excited to see what happens next.
Me too. They're
Oh,
doing-
no! Which
they're-
musical reference is going to be next?
They're doing such a good job with this. Good job, you guys.
Are they going to get to the darker stuff like Gypsy or West Side Story? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, we got 3 more episodes.
I know, we're
There's
halfway
room
through.
there.
All right, well, we'll see you back in Schmigadoon, everybody, and
Thanks for watching.
ye hunk. Ye hunk. Huh?